Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today for this call. It's an exciting day at the JCC Association and also for within our movement. This represents Barak Hermann's first day as the President and CEO of the JCC Association of North America. So first of all, I want to welcome Barak officially. And I also want to share that Jen of her Mamlet is still at the JCC Association through this Thursday. And I want to add that I'm just so grateful for her leadership over these past 15 months and throughout her tenure with the JCC Association, and obviously a great body of work throughout the JCC movement for many, many years, even beyond that. So I'm just the observation of the two of them, Barak and Jen, working together to build a great foundation. So Barak will hit the ground running. But today is really what we hope will be regular communications with the movement and hopefully to identify ways that we can keep you all informed and appraised. So with that, so the only other thing I want to, a couple of other things I want to add is that, we've launched the stakeholder process over the last, 45, 60 days as far as from the announcement. And we are very, very thrilled at the response that we're receiving so far. And it's, Barak will touch on that a little bit also. And I just want to, conclude by saying back to the roots of what we're all about. JCC Association of North America, we lead and connect the JCC movement to advance and enrich Jewish life here in North America. So grateful to all of you to work together and on to this next chapter in the movement. So with that, I'll turn it over to my friend Barak.
Well, first of all, good afternoon, everybody. Really just full of honor and humility to be in this role. For those that I haven't met yet, I am Barak Hermann, and I have the honor of now serving as the new president and CEO of the JCC Association of North America. I still feel like as I sit in this office, if those of you can see this office and know this office, I sat in this office 30 years ago as a student, as an Eddie Kaplan scholarship recipient, being mentored in my early career by Alan Finkelstein. Never did I think I'd be sitting in this office, having the opportunity to work with my colleagues to help them lead JCC across North America. But after 13 awesome years at the JCC of Greater Baltimore and nearly 6 months of transition, I have cut the umbilical cord. And I'm here to be with all of you, to support you, to be in relationship and to be in friendship and in partnership as I step fully into this new role. This moment's been a long time in making, and I'm filled with a lot of energy, optimism. But really, when I think about the Jewish world today, and I think about what all of you go through every day, a deep sense of responsibility for the work on behalf of the Jewish people, but and also on behalf of all of you. So I'm beginning a new role, and many of you have been in that before when you onboard into a new role. This is my third time or fourth time onboarding into a new executive role. But I'm going to be really leaning in and learning from all of you. I've worked in JCCs, mostly obviously on the Northeast. So I don't know about running JCCs in Canada or the Midwest or the West Coast, but I am eager to learn, and I'm eager to be in relationship with all of you and understand how you do your business in your respective communities. So that will help me to shape my new understanding of this moment. And I'm deeply grateful for this opportunity to listen and to learn. But as I said to the board of directors when I got hired, I said, buckle up because we got work to do. There's not going to be a year-long listening tour. As some of my colleagues have said to me, I've been listening for 31 years. And so I'm here to continue to listen, not just here, but to listen with all of you and really hear what your needs are, to support you with talent, support you with Jewish peoplehood initiatives, find ways to help you generate new revenue and also reduce your expenses. So lots to do and lots of opportunities in front of us. I'm going to share that also today is, it's a time for Jewish camping. We're the largest Jewish camping platform, as I know, in North America. Over 50,000 children are starting in JCC camps. That's pretty remarkable this summer. And to think about 50,000 children experiencing Jewish holidays and, singing the Hatikvah. I understand that we have over 400 shluchim working in our camps this summer. What an incredible thing. We have over 400 children coming from Israel to participate in over 20 JCC camps this summer. And we also have our program with the JWB, which sends kids from Jewish military base, sends kids from families at Jewish military bases. We have over 150 kids this summer coming from military bases to Jewish camps. And I think those over 20 camps that have welcomed those campers in. Many of you might not know that the part of the JCCA and part of our movement was born on supporting Jews in the military after World War I in 1917. And then we went on to take over trying to support JCCs across North America. So the Jewish Welfare Board, we had their chaplains conference here last week. I had the opportunity to greet them, to think about the incredible work that they're doing on military bases across the world and supporting over 10,000 Jewish servicemen and women and their families. So what an amazing program we have partnered with to offer over 150 children this summer, thanks to the Marcus Foundation, to attend Jewish camp. So, there's a lot going on in our movement. We also have over 17 searches happening nationwide. This is a time of a lot of executive transition. I know that the community I left is experiencing that. So we're really working as best we can to support those 17 searches across North America. So I would like to also just take a moment to, let me see if I can share this with you, to really just also take a moment to talk about the work of why we do this work. And this is the agenda for our call. I really want to make these calls efficient in 30 minutes and see if this way of communicating works efficiently. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the stakeholder and the Maccabi Games and the Mitbarim grants and so on, and things that are coming up. But this is our movement as a whole, and to think about how we stay connected and supported to each other at this time. When something great happens in a JCC, we celebrate, and when something challenging happens, we support. And this is a challenging time for the Jewish community with anti-Semitism. The events only a month ago in Boulder, in what happened there, the tragedy, and again, to the amazing leadership of Jonathan Lev and his community to support them, each other. But we feel those things when each other have difficult times, and we support each other during great times. But this is a big movement, and we're geographically spread. And right now we have over 17 of these red dots looking for new executive leadership. So how we all support each other and continue to amplify Jewish life and make sure that Jewish communities are strong is really my top priority, and why I chose to be in this moment with all of you. I want to just also take a moment, because I feel when a movement like us comes together, there has to be a little bit of Jewish learning. I learned a long time ago that as simply as I can make it, that we're in the Jewish continuity business, and that was a 1990s word. But ultimately, our camps, our JCCs, are trying to continue to make Jewish identity happen across North America. We are constantly, all the doors and stuff. If people could mute, that would be great. So the Hebrew word for continue is hamshach. And this Hebrew word, I just want to give you a quick play on words of my philosophy and hope to work with all of you as we advance our movement. So the Hebrew word for continuity, like I said, is hamshach. The hey, if you give me a little play on words, stands for hineni. Here I am, here we are. For Judaism to continue and for JCCs to continue to be vibrant engines of Jewish life, we need people to step up and say hineni. Here I am. And I can't thank my colleagues and the leadership across our movement for how you have stepped up the last 6 months since I announced my taking on this opportunity, supporting Jen and I, And I'll show you in a moment the stakeholder, how over 100 JCCs have already said, here I am ready to support being part of a movement and moving forward. And that's one of the beauties about being in the JCC movement, is for all of us to say hineni. And I will look to many of you to see how you can help me at this time, help each other. Many of you have years of experience. Some of you are new to this, but each of you have incredible resumes and skills to offer. And I look forward to making sure that this is a movement by the people, for the people. And thank you all for saying hineni, here I am. We need to make sure that we're working together as a family, mishpacha, that we are a family. It doesn't mean we always have to get along. We know that in our own nuclear families. We know we can have moments with each other, but we love each other and we care for each other. And I ask that we have a movement that's based on kindness and respect and understanding. I am always accessible to all of you. I've been doing this work a long time, and if I can point you in the right direction, give you a consultant, give you an advisor, help you think things through, I'm here to be always available to all of you, because we're a family, and that means I need to know what you need through good times and bad times. The Shin stands for Shachianu, a blessing for gratitude for now, but the Shin can also stand for Simcha, which means joy. And that one of the things that we must ensure as a JCC movement is that we bring joy to our respective Jewish communities. This is a challenging time for the Jewish people. We pray for the release of the hostages, and we pray for peace in Israel and peace in the Ukraine and peace around the world. But we have a blessing that every day we get up to do this incredible work. And I want to make sure that we're doing it with lots of joy and excitement, that our conferences are filled with joy, our gatherings are filled with joy and humor. Our work is tiring, it's hard, the days are long, but when we come together, we need to feel joy and support, because I'm a groupie of Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs, who said, during the most difficult days for the Jews, and I'll paraphrase, during the most challenging of times, Jews never forget how to celebrate and have joy. And that's why we have Shabbat every week, to mark our time, to remind us how important it is to have joy. And then lastly, the final chaf is Klal Yisrael. One of the beauties of why I love the JCC movement is that we worry about the entirety of the Jewish people. I went into this work as a very proud Reformed Jew, and now when people ask me what kind of Jew I am, I don't like to categorize myself by Reformed, Conservative, Orthodox. I like to say I'm a proud Jew. And I want us as a movement to be responsible for all types of Jews, for every Jew to be seen. If we're community centers, we build community of all Jews, not just Jews that choose us. We go out and we find people that want to be on a Jewish journey. And I've also come to realize that Kol Aravim Zelazeh, that we are responsible for each other, and all JCCs are responsible for each other. But I think that if we go back to the original origin of why Judaism was created, was that God wanted us to be a role model onto society about how to treat each other. And so as we wandered through that desert to get to the promised land, Israel was that hope and that idea of a place where everyone could be seen and accepted and valued. Now, today we have millions of Jews living in the diaspora across North America and countries across the world. So to me, I've always tried to think of the JCCs that I operated, if you allow me to think this way, that our JCCs are promised communities. That in a way of what we hope for Israel to be in the ideal, that our JCCs are a place that Republican, Democrat, centrist, left, right, LGBTQ, whoever, could be seen and feel accepted. And what I love about this word, hemshach, and continue, is if we think about those four things, I think they are the values that can guide me to work with all of you. Hineni, we're here together to work together. Mishpacha, we focus on each other as a family. We bring blessings of Shechianu and joy and simcha into our work. And we remember that we're worrying about everybody in the Jewish world. And what's beautiful about Hebrew is that each Hebrew letter has a numeric value in its gematria. And what's incredible is that the Hey is number 5, The mem is 40, the shin is 300, and the chaf is a 20. And together that equals 365. And being Jewish is not a 9-to-5 job. Running a JCC is not 9 to 5, 5 days a week. It is 365 days a year that we're in business. And many of us that have been doing this work know that even when the JCC is closed for holidays and the Chagim, we're open, we're doing construction, we're doing renovations, we're cleaning floors, we're getting the building ready. These buildings are open 7 days a week. These campuses are engines of Jewish life 365 days a year. So as we move our movement forward, as we support JCCs, who some are doing wonderfully and some are struggling, may we work as a family, show up for each other, and bring joy 365 days a year. And to start with that, I want to acknowledge the hineni of our movement. 6 months ago, we had a voluntary dues model. Those of you that know me know that I don't like the word dues. It's investment. My job is to give you back all the value you give us, you get back to advance your talent, your teams, your organization. And I have to tell you, this slide has blown me away, that over 70% of the movement has already affiliated 120 JCCs. I think we thought we'd have 8 or 9 ambassadors, and as of right before this call, we have 25 ambassadors. So you can see, thank you to these JCCs, that this was a time of choice, that people could choose how they want to affiliate and get benefits at levels of affiliation. The task force that worked on this new model felt that it was imperative that there was choice. I believe in that. And to these 25 JCCs, thank you for becoming ambassadors of our movement. And one thing I promised, that anyone who would affiliate at this level would be part of a CEO advisory group. So I thought I'd have 8 or 9 of you, and now I have 25 of you and counting who said, hineni, here I am. I want to be part of helping you shape this moment. So thank you to my colleagues who have stepped up in this way. And at the same time, wow, almost 70 JCCs have signed on as partners. Incredible. Accessing the benefits of the organization. How grateful I am that all these J's are partners in doing the work with us. And this is a growing list, really quite remarkable. And thank you to the partners. And at the same time, I'm beyond grateful for people that have chosen to affiliate and not affiliate. So to these JCCs, thank you for choosing affiliation. You will still be seen. You will still be supported, yet in different ways. And at the same time, over time, may we continue to show you value that might prompt your thinking to want to go to a different level. But this is quite remarkable. And that income that will come from all of you as I evaluate the budget and everything will allow us to put a lot more resources right back into the field. So just know that this is really bodes well for my beginning to know that we have new revenues coming in from the field to offer meaningful work. And this is not the only revenue generator that we're putting together. We have a board campaign that we're working on to raise significant resources for new leadership programs, executive training programs, middle management programs, lay development. And we also are starting conversations with funders across the Jewish ecosystem. So again, this is quite remarkable how we have already begun, that we are already at over 120 organizations that are affiliating for us to move forward together especially at this moment. I also want to talk to you for a moment about the Maccabi games. Wow, we have over, I think, let me double check my numbers. We have over, I'm sorry, let me check that, 2,000 children starting this summer, teenagers at the games. This is really amazing. We have the Access Games happening. And I really want to give a shout out to my colleague, Todd Rothkopf, for his leadership, stepping up first in COVID to host this year's games, July 27th to August 1st with a VIP experience, July 28 and 29. I hope to see as many of you there as possible. And then in Pittsburgh, our first ever fully blown out campus games. Thank you to Jason Kunzman and the Pittsburgh community who only 15 months ago stepped up. And so we have incredible energy going into the games. We have children coming from Israel, teens to participate. We have over 500 coaches, thousands of people involved. And as Sam Cohn has said, probably the largest gathering of the Jewish community this summer. So really, really incredible around the Maccabi games this summer. We're also welcoming over 100 teams from Israel who are coming in from Otef Gaza, the northern Israel, and the Maccabi Israel communities affected directly by the war. So I hope to see many of you at the Maccabi games. The VIP experience for those 2 days is a great way for us to connect as executives, as board members, lay leaders. If you still can make it, let us know, but we promise you a very meaningful and inspiring Jewish experience. And there's some of the key numbers that you'll see. Sorry, I said 2,000, over 3,000 teens, 85 communities, 7,000 spectators. But I also love these other statistics that really speak to the impact of the work we're doing. 54% of those 3,000 teens, it's their first time at JCC Maccabi. 64% of these teenagers are not engaged in anything else Jewishly. Think about what we're doing right now to inspire the next generation of proud Jewish young people. I don't want to see young people tucking the Jewish star inside their shirt. I want them to be proud, to feel like they're part of a Jewish community that cares for them, that they're proud of their identity. And this is the Maccabi Games that we put together is definitely one of our signature efforts. And 55% of our teens have never gone to Israel. So we hope to be back in Israel next summer. But we're really glad that the games are going to be so successful. And thanks to Sam Cohn and the Maccabi committee at JCC Association and the entire Maccabi team who I met with yesterday for the first team. It's quite an impressive group of professionals and interns. We also have participants, again, speaking to just Jewish peoplehood. We have young people coming in from these countries. So we have 34 athletes representing Israel and communities hit by the Iranian missile attacks. So this is a pretty powerful thing happening this summer. We are also launching ProCon in October, the first gathering of the movement in 6 years before COVID in Minneapolis. Thanks to Stephanie, my colleague, and her community for hosting us in Minnesota. But we have a planning committee with over 13 people in executive positions, not executive directors, but assistant executive directors, chief operating officers, chief program officers, who are helping to shape a dynamic, exciting, super fun, super energizing professional conference. Registration is going to launch today. I hope everybody will consider sending people and a meaningful delegation. If you're new to building your delegation, I'd love to talk to you about how I went through my career to build a delegation every year. I know it's a costly investment, nearly $1,500 to $2,000 per person to send. But I can assure you that if we do our job and the JCCs do their job on the back end to make sure that people that attend ProCon are not just there for social, but there to learn and to have fun and to appreciate that where they are part of a movement, that $2,000 can be one of the best investments you can make in your professional to feel motivated and inspired. It provides them a circle of colleagues that they can call upon for program ideas and innovation. So we did ask you to join us as stakeholders, and now I'm asking you to consider building a meaningful delegation to represent your community in Minneapolis. I can just share with you again from years and from my own experience attending this as a young professional. I met my network of friends. Those are the friends I called upon for program ideas, get me out of trouble, legal advice, etc. This is going to be an incredible gathering for our movement and really show the unity that we can bring. We also are launching our first JCC residential conference for over our 25 resident camps in September. Thank you to Adam and the team at Berkshire Hills Eisenberg Camp for hosting us. but JCC camps are a force across North America, our day and resident camps, and we need to figure out exactly how we're going to be supporting camps more than we are already. And I'm very committed, as I believe that camp is one of the most important Jewish identity engines that we can offer. We're also going to obviously have Mifgash this year, our executive conference. We'll be building a team to plan this year's executive conference in Atlanta. Thank you to my colleague Jared Powers for stepping up and hosting us. And if anybody would like to be on the Mifgash planning committee, we'll be kicking off in August, September. Please send me a note, or Carrie Darsky, that you would like to serve and be part of this year's Mifgash planning committee. Everything that we do in the field has to be done by the field and for the field. I also want to share that a couple of deadlines that are really important to all of us and to you, and I knew was very important to me as a field executive. Mitbarim, which is our grants, is a $7.2 million initiative between the JCC Association and the Ministry of Israel's Ministry of Diaspora Affairs, to really create incredible, robust Israel programming across North America that can foster an emotional connection to Israel and a deeper understanding of the times that we're in. We're going to be giving out, as I understand, over $1 million in grants this summer for communities to plan commemorations as we enter another unfortunate commemoration of 10/7. I would encourage you that you think about these grants. In spring of 2025, we gave away more than $1.5 million in grants to 115 JCCs. Over 80% of the North American JCCs have participated in this initiative since 2024. And the new proposals will launch on July 8th. So these are great grants. To me, it's low-hanging fruit for you to try to tap into these funds, be creative, and inject your community with really meaningful Israel programming this October 7th to commemorate a very tragic day for the Jewish people. We also are starting in July allocation for next year's Maccabi Games, so please stay tuned to that. We'll be asking you for next summer when we're in, I think, Kansas City and Toronto for next year's Maccabi Games. We're already starting that process as well. So those are like the big deadlines for July: the grant process for Mitbarim and the next wave of the JCC Maccabi Games already for 2026. We're launching ProCon registration today. And I hope that I'm going to be thinking a lot with my colleagues and others of how we communicate effectively with all of you. I know we get a lot of emails. Some of you tell me you don't read them. There's too many of them. And then you miss things. We don't want you to miss any things. We might try these 30-minute phone calls once a month just to pinpoint high-level things that are happening across the field. And we'll follow up with these slides and everything that we shared, by the end of the week. So I want to wish everybody a happy July 4th. May it be a safe summer for all of your campers and staff and your communities. May we find peace in Israel and the release of the hostages, and really pray for calmness across our entire continental movement. But I want to end before the way I began. Thank you for saying Hineni and saying, here I am, showing up on these phone calls, investing in the stakeholder partnership. Thank you for those of you who have already stepped up to offer me opportunities to volunteer on national initiatives. Thank you for caring about each other as a family. Let us find joy together, and let us really take our moment right now to care for the entire Jewish world. May we all go from strength to strength. I'm 2 minutes off. I'll do better in the future, but I wish everybody a really great day. Thanks, everybody.